Adopted children, when did your parents' favoritism come back to bite them? My sister Vanessa was their real daughter made from their blood. I was just the charity case they took in at age 3. They never let me forget that distinction between us. I learned early that being the adopted child meant being grateful for whatever scraps they threw my way. Growing up, every achievement of mine got a polite smile from them. Meanwhile, Vanessa received tearful pride just for existing in their world. When I won the state science fair in 10th grade, they missed it for Vanessa's dance recital. When I asked why they didn't come, Mom said family comes first. I thought I was family too, but apparently I was wrong. The favoritism was constant and crushing throughout my entire childhood. I wore thrift store clothes while Vanessa got designer brands every season. I took the bus while she got rides everywhere she wanted to go. They put her in private school while I went to the overcrowded public one downtown. Dad always said they had to prioritize their resources for their real daughter's future. Vanessa coasted through her expensive education with C's and D's on every report card. I studied by streetlight when they turned off my bedroom light at 9 to save electricity. She partied through high school while I worked at the hospital cafeteria every weekend dreaming of med school. They threw her a massive Sweet 16 party with 100 guests. I got a card for mine that they signed at breakfast. Senior year was what finally got me to stop begging for their love and attention. I got accepted to Johns Hopkins pre-med program with a partial scholarship. The same week, Vanessa got caught stealing merchandise from her job at the mall. Guess which event they actually cared about discussing? They flat out refused to co-sign my student loans when I asked. Mom actually said medical school was unrealistic for someone like me to pursue. Dad added that they needed to save for Vanessa's future since blood comes first. This happened while they paid for Vanessa's lawyer and bought her a new car. They said she shouldn't have to take the bus to her community service appointments. I was crushed, but not surprised by their decision. I made the hardest choice of my young life that spring. I deferred admission and worked 3 jobs for 2 years straight without breaks. I lived in my car for 6 months to save money on rent. I ate 1 meal a day to stretch my food budget further. Every single penny went straight to my tuition savings account. I finally started pre-med at 20 and never looked back once. I graduated summa cum laude 4 years later with multiple honors. I got into a top surgery residency at a major hospital after that. I worked 100-hour weeks while Vanessa bounced between retail jobs and Mom's couch. By 30, I was a trauma surgeon at a level 1 trauma center. Vanessa was 28 and still living at home trying to find herself. I kept minimal contact with them after becoming successful. I showed up for major holidays where they'd ask me to examine various aches and pains. They would praise Vanessa's latest vision board while I stood there quietly. They'd mention how proud they were that I made something of myself despite my unfortunate background. They acted like my success happened in spite of them, not because I had to. Then came the call that changed everything between us forever. Dad's voice was shaking when he called at 3 in the morning. He said they needed my help because something terrible had happened with Vanessa. Their real daughter had developed a serious pill addiction after a minor car accident. What started as prescription painkillers became doctor shopping for more pills. Then it became street pills and finally a full-blown opioid addiction. They'd spent everything they had trying to help her get clean. She went to rehab after rehab but always left early. They took out loans that she'd steal to buy more substances. Their retirement savings were completely drained trying to save her. Mom sobbed into the phone about how sick Vanessa was. She said they'd tried everything but Vanessa needed more help from better doctors. She wanted me to use my medical connections to find better facilities. They'd already spent $200,000 on failed rehabs. Vanessa would get clean for a week then relapse immediately. She'd stolen Mom's jewelry and Dad's tools to sell for drug money. She'd forged checks and maxed out their credit cards without them knowing. She even sold their car while they were visiting Mom's sister out of state. Dad said quietly that they might lose the house soon, but he insisted she was their daughter and their blood. He said they couldn't give up on her no matter what. He asked if I could co-sign a loan since I was successful now. I sat in my paid-off brownstone looking at the medical school loans I'd finally finished paying. All those years of being told I wasn't really family came flooding back. All those times when blood came first filled my mind. I asked if they remembered what they told me about medical school. They said that was different because I wasn't their blood. I agreed that I still wasn't their blood and hung up. They lost the house 2 months later to foreclosure. Vanessa overdosed but survived, then disappeared with their last $5,000. They're living in a 1-bedroom apartment now on Social Security. Mom works at a grocery store at 68 years old. Dad delivers newspapers every morning before dawn.